Tafsir of Surah Fatihah, Part 1 of 6. Chapter 1. Al-Fatihah. In the name of God, most gracious, most merciful. Praise be to the God, the sustainer and evolver, Rab, of the universes, Alamin. Most gracious, most merciful, Master of the day of law, Deen. 5. Thee do we worship, and thine aid we seek. Guide us to the straight path, from the path of those on whom thou hast bestowed thy grace, those whose is not wrath, and who go not astray. Color code. Omo. Verses of the Quran. Black. All other writings. Tafsir of the Surah. Introduction. The Surah, chapter, stands outside of the Quran, as the following verse says. And we have bestowed upon thee the 7 oft repeated, this Surah, and the Grand Quran. Al-Quran 15-87. So, the Surah and the Grand Quran are 2 different articles, revealed by the same God. The Surah is the preface of the Quran. The Surah acquaints its readers with the God of the Quran. It motivates them to worship the God only and rely on Him only. It stirs up the unity of Muslims by using we, us in the prayer. Thee do we worship, and thine aid we seek. The Surah highlights the book as for the people that urge for the guidance. Guide us to the straight path. It is the path that the old prophets admired. A voice of one calling in the desert. Prepare the way for the Lord. Make straight path for Him. Gospel of Mark chapter 1 verses 3-4, Holy Bible. The Surah altogether is a teaching, a motivation, and a prayer. It sets its reader in the desired state of mind to go through the book. Flowchart. Section 1, verse 2-4, the God of the Quran. Section 2, verse 5-7, submission and prayer. Section 1 of Chapter 1, verse 2-4, the God of the Quran. Praise be to the God, the sustainer and evolver of the universes. Remarks. The above verse acquaints one with the God of the Quran. According to the verse, the God of the Quran, Allah, is the sustainer and evolver, Rab, of the universes, Alamin. Therefore, if we can understand how a sustainer and evolver of the universes should be, we will have a better idea about the God. It is discussed under the following headings. The universes, Alamin, the God in form, the God existing everywhere, basic knowledge about the soul, how the God sustains and evolves the universes by extending several of His elementary souls into the space. Practical examples of the extended elementary souls, force fields, rules of God. How the God became God. The discussion will acquaint a reader with the real God of the universes scientifically. Note, Rab is translated by Pickthall as Lord and by Abdullah Yusuf Ali as cherisher and sustainer. The literal meaning of the word is sustainer, cherisher, master, and nourisher. In context of the inert universes, it is translated here as sustainer and evolver. Otherwise, one of the 99 names of Allah is sustainer, al-Muqit, and another of His names is evolver, al-Bari, in the Quran. 1. The universes, Alamin. If we want to understand the God as the sustainer and evolver of the universes, Alamin, we are to know the universes at first. People have different ideas about the universes. 2 of such ideas are discussed below in short. 1a. The idea of multiverse. The multiverse is a group of multiple universes. Together, these universes comprise everything that exists. Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia. The different universes within a multiverse are called parallel universes, other universes, or alternate universes. These universes may have different physical constant, laws of physics, and even different fundamental particles. The universe, where we are living now, was created with precisely perfect laws and initial configuration. Thus, it has evolved to the state of today. Today, the elements and compounds forming the earth follow innumerable natural laws, perfect and correctly interactive to each other to support our lives. And there is a huge quantity of water with unique characteristics. Thus, the universe is fine-tuned for a complex creature like us. It is obvious that it has been created by a super-intelligent being, no less than the God described in the Quran. He is the evolver as well. But the idea of multiverse, found in the common books, tries to answer how a fine-tuned universe could evolve without God. Philosophical debates in which fine-tuning appears are often about the universe's fine-tuning for life. According to many physicists, the fact that the universe is able to support life depends delicately on various of its fundamental characteristics, notably on the form of the laws of nature, on the values of some constants of nature, and on aspects of the universe's conditions in its very early stages. Various reactions to the universe's fine-tuning for life have been proposed. That it is a lucky coincidence which we have to accept as a primitive given, that it will be avoided by future best theories of fundamental physics, that the universe was created by some divine designer who established life-friendly conditions, and that fine-tuning for life indicates the existence of multiple other universes with conditions very different from those in our own universe. Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy. The space possesses energy, such as vacuum energy, dark energy. Therefore, there are theories suggesting that there could be billions and billions of Big Bangs, resulting in the formation of billions and billions of universes. Accidentally, one of these universes could be suitable for life. Thus, many use this explanation to account for the creation without invoking a creator. It is evident that the Quran does not suggest such idea by the term alamin, or universes. Instead, the Quran emphasizes the fine-tuning as the proof of God's existence. He who created the 7 skies, one above another. Not you see in the creation of most gracious any disparity. Tafsir. Al-Quran 67:03. The above verse says that there is no disparity, tafawutin, in the skies, which means that the universe is fine-tuned. The fine-tuning is done by God. The skies are supergiant waves of space, one inside another, like the peels of onion. The waves are produced by the distribution of matter, galaxies mainly, in the space. We are in the innermost, first sky. The expanding skies helped the concentration of matter into the galaxies. It also helps the balanced expansion of the universe. Thus, the skies save the universe from disparity. Tafawutin. One does not have to believe the existence of skies blindly. The formation of walls, filaments, and voids point out the existence of skies as 7 supergiant waves of space. Each sky contains many galaxies and other objects. The skies are deliberately discussed in Section 7 of Chapter 2. Allah is the originator, Fatihah, of the universe. He set the laws and the initial configuration of the universe perfectly, so that it, the universe, could evolve as desired. We can see his initial acts, futurin, by returning our visions to the early universe. It is possible today by the James Webb Space Telescope. So, return the vision. Can you see any initial act of originator, futurin? Then return the vision twice, overturn to you the vision, lost, and it is tired. Al-Quran 67:3-4. In above verse, futurin is normally translated as flaw. It is a deviated translation. Fatihah means originator. It is one of the names of Allah. In a human context, futurin means breakfast. See dictionary. So in context of above verse, futurin should mean the initial act of originator. We may think on the sun, earth, and moon to understand how precisely the system is tuned. And the moon, we have ordained for it phases till she returns, like the date stalk the old. It is not permitted to the sun to catch up the moon, nor can the night outstrip the day, but all are in a sphere, Falakin, Milky Way galaxy, floating. And a sign for them is that we bore their race in the loaded ark of Noah, and we have created for them similar vessels on which they ride. Al-Quran 36-39-42. Ophalakine is normally translated as orbit, but it can be translated as ship, sphere, astronomy as well. See dictionary, please. A galaxy is a sphere of space carrying the stars and other objects, like a spaceship. And as the above verses say that the sun and the moon are floating in the Falakin, it should be understood as the Milky Way galaxy. The above verses point out the fine-tuning described below. The moon is working from the old times as a natural calendar for the common people. To be a good natural calendar, it had to be big enough in size to appear like the date stalk, the old, thin crescent at the ends. But the sun, exposing powerful gravitational force, should snatch away a big moon and make it a planet of its own. The problem of having a big moon is solved by reducing its mass. Scientists think that the moon has a remarkably small iron core for a body of its size. So, the center of gravity, CG, of the Earth-Moon system lies inside the Earth, about 1,700 kilometers below the surface. So the gravity of the sun works on the moon through the Earth. So it is not permitted to the sun to catch up the moon. But the mass of the moon could not be reduced too much so that nor can the night outstrip the day. A moon with correct mass is necessary for the stability of the Earth at 23.5-degree tilt that provides stability to the Earth in its movement and rotation, ensuring stable days and nights at each point of the Earth. Moreover, the moon having correct mass produces measured tides in the oceans. The gravitational force is designed to act in fixed patterns, and masses, distances, tilts, and movements of sun, earth, and moon are correctly decided. They produce correct heat, tides, and currents in atmosphere and oceans. So the sailing ships can move safely, and a sign for them is that we bore their race in the loaded ark of Noah, and we have created for them similar vessels on which they ride. And why the Ark of Noah is mentioned here. The boat of Noah was floating in a special situation. Allah has fixed the nature, but He is always in control. Such is the tuning by Allah that it, fine-tuning, does not negate His interference. Allah, the most intelligent, the wise. The creation of the fine-tuned universe proves the existence of God, and the Quran is His message, choreographed for the testing ground of earth. It increases the belief of the believers, and it increases the disbelief of the disbelievers. The same technique is applied in the creation, so an atheist cannot see the act of originator, futurin. He reacts to the aspect of fine-tuning by the idea of multiverse. He argues that there could be many Big Bangs and many universes, and as a matter of chance, one has become suitable for life. If there were a large, possibly infinite number of universes, each with possibly different physical laws, then some of these universes, even if very few, would have the combination of laws and fundamental parameters that are suitable for the development of matter, astronomical structures, elemental diversity, stars, and planets that can exist long enough for life to emerge and evolve. Wikipedia, from Anthropic Principle. The space possessing energy may be exploding with the Big Bangs, but it could never produce a universe fine-tuned for a complex creature like us. The probability is zero in reality. Moreover, the universes would collide with each other due to their gravitational forces to produce the explosions and explosions only. If there were no barrier space separating them, by alameen, the Quran does not mean such aimlessly popping out universes. However, in subsequent discussions, one will find that Allah has created several universes. There is a parallel universe, anti-universe, within our universe, and there are other universes at the outside of our universe. The parallel universe that is within our universe is created from the dark matter, Antimatter is a kind of dark matter. The anti-creatures, such as the jinns, are living in the parallel universe. The jinns are intelligent and top anti-creatures, so our universe is a two-in-one universe. Allah has made some arrangements to save the matter and the antimatter from random collision and frequent annihilation. In addition, there are other universes, such as the Jannat, at the outside of our universe. The universes are separated by a huge barrier called Barzakh. 1b. Sufi idea about the Alamin, universes. The Sufis, Muslim saints, too sometimes talk about the Alamin, to articulate the spectrum of spiritual rise in general. It is given below in short. Hahut, it is the world, Alam, where only Allah exists. Yahut, it is the world where the existence of Nur Muhammadi is considered. Rahut, it is the world where the Ruh exists. Jabrut, the level includes the angels. Malakut, the creation we see around us is Malakut. Nasut, a human body is considered as an alam, world, and is called Nasut. Our science has not developed in the direction of spiritual awareness, so the above information derived from the Sufi thoughts cannot be used in our scientific discussion. There are two more alamin, alam-e arwa and alam-e barzakh. Our souls, nafses, come from alam-e arwa and go to alam-e barzakh after death. Allah SWT has told us in the Quran that prior to being born in this world, all human beings were formerly born in a different world. The state of human beings at the time of that initial birth is referred to as alam-e arwa. The actual definition of alam-e arwa is the time spent by humans in another world before coming down to this earth. When we come down to this earth, we are born with a body and our nafs, which is called soul. When we die and leave this world, our physical body stays here in the soil and our soul is taken out. This is also a kind of alam-e arwa, but Quran generally uses a different term for that stay of soul and calls it barzakh, meaning it is a time when there is no body but just the soul. Abu Yahya, Inzar.org. We get some information in the Quran that indicate alam-e arwa as a virtual universe that God created to plan the creation. It is the master design of God. We were created in the virtual universe from our souls energized according our DNA codes and lived a virtual life in a holographic earth. Our fates are extracted from our virtual lives. One's real life on the earth is a repetition of the virtual life, except in the aspect of faith. The virtual universe still exists in the Arsh as an element of angelic establishment, monitoring our fates by angels. The master design, virtual universe, the virtual life, the fate, and the angels are deliberately discussed in Section 9 of Chapter 6. There are two worlds inside the Barzakh, Alien and Sijin. In light of the Quran, these two are also holographic worlds for the dead to live their holographic lives till the day of resurrection. The Alien and Sijin are deliberately discussed in Chapter 83. 1c. The universes, Alamin, in the Quran. The universes, Alamin, that are mentioned in the Quran are discussed below under the following headings. Samawat, Jannat, different universes, superspace and Barzakh, Araf, channels, and Sidratul Muntaha, Alien and Sijin. Arsh, 1c. 1. Samawat, this universe, where we are living now, is called Samawat, skies, or Samawat wal ard, skies and lands, in the Quran. In cases, it is called Sama, sky, as well. The study of the Quran reveals that the space of the universe, Samawat, is shaped into 7 spherical waves, one inside another, like the peels of onion. These waves of space are skies. Each sky contains innumerable galaxies. We are in the first, innermost sky. The space, though waved, is continuous. One does not have to believe the existence of skies blindly. Several recent observations indicate that the skies should exist, though the theories have not been developed to harness the idea in the books of science. The skies are deliberately discussed in Section 7 of Chapter 2. 1c. 2. Jannat. The Jannat is a separate universe altogether. The hint of its location is given in the following verses. Be quick in the race for forgiveness from your Lord, and for a Jannat whose width is that of the skies and lands, this universe, prepared for the righteous. Al-Quran 3-133. Race to forgiveness from your Lord and the Jannat, the width of which is as the width of the sky and land, this universe. Al-Quran 57-2. According to the above verses, the width of the Jannat is equal to the width of this universe, samawat. If two entities are equal in width, one cannot remain inside another. So the Jannat and the samawat are two separate universes. Holy Bible gives similar indication, because only a few will be saved. God created two universes instead of only one. 2 Esdras 750, Holy Bible, GNB. Some say that the time began at the Big Bang, and that there is nothing beyond the Big Bang, and so on, because they do not know. Allah is ever living, and He has other creations at the outside of this universe,